All right. Our dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. Thank you for the opportunity to provide through this technology. We're able to meet together and to discuss what we need to do for our business class and this case study. And may we be able to do so with clarity and understanding of one another, and be able to understand what the questions are asking. And may we be able to do well in our studies, and we're grateful for the gospel, and it plays an important role in our lives, and it gives us the opportunity to find peace. And these things we say in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
All right. All right. So we got Austin taking scribe on this. Do you want me to still take the lead on it, or do you want to?
I mean, I can read through them, no problem. So it says, if anyone has a spiritual thought, gospel thought, does anyone have one?
I think we can sort of skip it for time's sake. No offense. We're just
perfect. As a group, begin by discussing the following questions. Summarize the situation for Quincy Apparel in December 12. Describe the two options the founders are debating, and what is at stake with this decision.
Well, what I've been told, what's going on is that both partners are at somewhat of an indifference at this time, and they're faced to go ahead and they might have to close shop just because of lack of capital at this time to get their next spring. I believe it's the next spring line up and running, and they've had multiple issues throughout the year through their vendors, and also been able to capture the right funds. And also, I think it's Christine that's been off because of some personal issues, and so that's been a little bit more on the other partner. That's my nutshell.
I think that's a good.
Awesome. So I write a summary, right? Like a brief summary of the situation. So I put the partners are in indifference with the decision. They need more capital to fix the operating issues that they're having. What else do you guys think needs to be in there?
Let's see.
You said operational issues?
Yeah, because they're having operational issues, right?
Maybe it's part of it, but I think that the company culture needs some help. I mean, the employees are like thinking they're there to do a favor for the owners, but in all reality, they should be dang glad that they have a job and an opportunity to maybe be, at the ground floor of something great. They need a culture change. They need to feel like they're a part of something great.
So should I just put they need more capital to fix the operating issues and change the culture or environment of the company?
I think so. I think that's good.
I think they need a solid office to meet in too, instead of just going to get coffee to talk about who's getting fired and whatnot.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
Okay, anything else? I mean, there's a brief summary, but describe the two options the founders are debating.
Well, one of them wants to narrow down the sizes and continue on with the business, and the other one's saying, hey, look, our business is making a bunch of different sizes for women that currently don't have these sizes. So one wants to narrow down the sizes, and the other one wants to keep the sizes and maybe even just sell out and pay everyone out, quit the company, and move on in class.
Okay, so the other one wants to keep the sizes or maybe sell out, is what you're saying?
That's how I understood it. Would you guys say the same?
Yep.
So narrow the sizes or just sell out, move on.
Yep.
Okay. And then what is at stake with this decision?
What's at stake?
Yeah. Sorry, I have the hiccups right now. I didn't have them since I was 12, but all of a sudden I have them. So what is at stake with this decision?
Well, this decision is the company's ready to fold if they can't make a bold move to get any kind of investor back into them.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, the whole company's at stake. That's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine any.
Their friendship maybe too, right?
Yes, I mean, if you read in the next in the case B part, it talks about their friendship being hurt by this.
Totally.
Yeah.
So now we take a vote. Who is right, Wallace or Nelson? Nelson's the one. Oh, go ahead.
Let's talk about which option's which, right? So Wallace is isn't Wallace the one wanting to sell out in class? and kind of end the company, and Nelson's the one wanting to say, let's narrow the sizes?
I think so.
I think that's what it is. I can hurry look, but
Let me just, yeah. Let me just
If
bring
that's
it
the
up.
case, I vote Wallace's idea. I like their idea, and I think they should continue on with the sizes, and we can talk about that later. But for time's sake, that's what I vote. Or I like her option as well as maybe sell out. But
yeah. So Nelson's the one that she wants to keep the business going and do that by cutting some of the sizes and focus on getting the process down, kind of getting the more set operations.
So Wallace wants to keep it. Nelson wants to sell it.
No, opposite.
Okay. Nelson wants to keep it. Wallace wants to sell it.
Yeah, Wallace wants to sell it.
I agree with Wallace then.
I agree with Wallace
in this situation.
Yeah. I would concur with all that because
I was thinking about it just the other day, and like I think the company itself has really good potential, but I think this needs to be a storefront store and not an online store, because if they want to fit those measurements to those women, they have to have them in there and get those exact measurements. They can make sure they fit.
So I said in my write-up, I tossled back and forth, but I actually said that I like Nelson's idea, and the reason being is just because I feel like if they could cut some sizes and kind of get a solid operations, right, and like get the process down, they might be able to get that solid foundation and then eventually bring back the sizes. But I mean, I'm partial. I think either way, I think Wallace's idea of being able to pay out everyone and everything in class is really cool too. So I don't know.
I liked Nelson's idea too. The issue I had with that was just the sizing issues that they had already, because they were having their customers. They had to order 2 separate item apparels just to make sure that one fit, and then have to send them back.
Right.
If they could really nail down the sizing, then I'm totally with Nelson. But as of right now, where they're so up in the air with it, I'd say go with Wallace.
I would also venture to say that if they would change their clientele to be more specific, because it looked like they had four sub demographics that they were going for with the women. And the one that I would say was the high clientele is the one that they should have been, because they had the less returns and they got more money per more customer. Granted, it was less of their company. Had they would stick with that, I think they might have a better chance. And they're not. And the higher clientele are looking for quality, and they're looking for. I don't think they're looking for every color under the rainbow for their outfits. So
I agree. So I voted for all. I don't know. I like the option that they allowed a lot of sizes, but like kind of echoing what you guys have said, I think that like with those operational issues, it would have been cool to continue if they could take kind of like almost a hybrid of the options and just do some surveys and see what measurements are like the most important. And it's kind of a weird idea, but like see why people were returning their items, and like if there was a certain measurement that was like messing them up or something, or like was around the waist or the chest or some, you know what I mean? And make sure that they hone in on these things, kind of use data-driven decisions to fix their operations, but still being able to like offer the full range of sizes. I think they could have ran to like a JIT inventory system, like just-in-time inventory system, so they would fix that problem. And they'd be able to streamline those processes or those alterations that are most important. I didn't want to like lose anyone, but like, I don't know, I had this crazy idea, and so I kind of just went with Wallace. I'm like, I think they should hold on to all the sizes and stuff, or just like sell that idea, and keep that going. But anyway, that's why I voted like that. So I put 3 votes for Wallace and 1 for Nelson. Are you guys cool with that?
yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
How should they approach the board meeting?
I went in for when I did my write up, I did it as a sales pitch to try to get more money, because these, if we're going to do, these people who were on the board were looking for the ability to make money in this company. So if the founders are saying, hey, I don't think we're going to make it, then the board is going to pull out. And I think a lot more chaos is going to go out. So I just said they need to go with the full force, come up with a really strong strategy for this upcoming spring, look at different options for the look at options to like streamline their inventory and being able to get a good team to rally together. So
Okay, I think that no matter what, it's going to be a sales pitch, but like how you would sell it to them would be to streamline their collection. Is that what you're saying? That's
yeah,
the approach you
narrow
have?
it down. Narrow it down. Have a more of a cohesive team. Make sure that their vendors are behind them, so they have to rally, making sure that their vendors are rallying behind them. So rallying behind the vendors, rallying behind them, then making sure that you have a better and show what kind of design you want, but streamlining it so it's not so complex. Looking at their management team and then making sure that they have the adequate capital needed to get through this next coming spring.
I think as well, I think showing how many customers are really interested and how many customers converted to show the investors how big the potential market is. Because I think that this idea can go big. I think they've had a lot of success, but they just can't get their operations. And just like Joe was saying, they need to streamline that. And I think if you show the investors, hey, look, our opportunity in our market is awesome. We have a great product and people like it. We just got to figure out our operations, and then we have a home run.
I agree with that. That's kind of going back to what I was saying too, is that if they can show like people have been buying their product and they can fix like why people are returning them, and they're saying like, look, we use surveys, we use data to see what the problem is, and we know we can fix it. We just need your money to fix this issue that we're trying to fix based on the data we've received. Like, who would not invest in that? You know, you're showing them with data. I totally agree with that, Austin.
My approach to the board meeting was I would go to the board meeting and say essentially along the lines of operations, but saying that, you know, this investment we want to put more into real estate so we can get people into our store, so we can have them trying stuff on, so that while we're working on our operations, we can still be selling these products. And then in doing that, that can also be kind of a, I guess, a loading zone or a shipping area to where we can send off our products to the customers.
It's all right. Open up or have a possibility to open up brick and mortar store, and like open up real estate opportunities.
Austin, are you reading the questions off of the assignment?
Yeah, is that what I'm supposed to do?
Yeah, I just didn't know which questions you were reading because I pull up the assignment. I was just curious if those are the same questions.
Oh, maybe it's not, dude. I put up
only really 2 questions on the assignment that you got to write up.
I pulled up the group discussion.
Group assignment, Quincy Apparel.
Yeah, and it says create a Zoom meeting with your learning team.
No, that's so you're gonna have to go. Hold on.
Go down to. You're out of here.
Yeah, I got to take off. We'll see you guys.
Yeah,
All right.
take it easy, man.
Take it easy, Tanner.
So
Oh, I thought that was it because I like labeled.
Below attendance, it says group assignment Quincy Apparel instructions.
Oh, I clicked off one. It says almost the same thing. Also, you just do those 3. Wait, as a group aside.
Yeah, so you just decide which offer you'll take. And I just agree with, I mean, we already decided 3-1, and I agree with you guys. Let's take Wallace's and just we can sell out. That's fine. But then it says, why do you believe caused the failure? And I think we decided it was the operation. So in a roundabout way, we've done these, right? So then which the founders of Quincy have done differently. We haven't really talked about that maybe as much.
Well, it talks about it in the actual the case B. It talks about what they should have done. What they should have done. I'm just going to go ahead and jump into that one so we can. Is that they could have. First off, I think it was Wallace who's saying we should have made the team, the founders, like 49-51, so one can have the majority win, because they said there's a lot of indecisions that were being made between the two. Their roles were not very clear. And another problem was they should have hit the bigger founders, bigger investors, because what happens is it's like the same with the last guy, the one that failed too. I can't remember which one that one was. Anyways, it's the one was whatever. What happens is they look at, hey, you already got investors. If I come into a failing company, I'm going to be the last to get it. So last in, last out. That means I don't get anything of my money back. So no, I'm not coming in. So what you should have been doing, what they should have done, investors for the bigger investors first, and got in with that. And then it also talks about they should have like we've already talked about, streamlined the sizes. And one of the designers that they have on one of their mentors, she actually recommended and one of the designers said, we had the same pants design for like 3 years and we didn't change it. Whereas these people have like probably 20 different design pants. And I mean, you can have your different colors and stuff like that, but the design was the same. So they should have just focused more. You can have the sizes that they were trying to acquire, but they should have just kept the design simple, like one pair of pants, 3 different tops or something like that.
Right.
So what do you want me to write for that? So what do you believe to be the failure? And we talked about operation and culture, right? But then what should the founders done differently is just keep one option, or just keep a limited streamlined collection.
One streamlined collection. They should have made the roles. So streamlined. Another is their roles needed to be very defined.
Yeah.
And then they should have gotten bigger VCs to invest in them from the get-go instead of the smaller ones.
Okay. Okay. And then, so this is the 2.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, I don't maybe, and then in the case study also the questions they asked too was it did talk about like how was their capital. It was horrible. If you look at their all in all, this company would never have been really successful because they would not have seen any, if they had kept the projections going, in which they are not even coming close to hitting those marks. It would have taken almost 3 years before they would have seen a real profit. But it would have hit really good if they had been successful. So I think all in all, I read actually an article about this afterwards. And it talked about it in a Business Newsweek, and it talked about a lot of the same things we had just discussed. And they had opened up to a short interview, and it talked a little bit about this, same things that we're discussing.
Right on. I think it's solid. I think
I wonder what I was reading because it gave like questions too. So what was I clicked on anyway. You can go.
Yeah.
I don't mean to keep anyone, but.
No, that's just it's just. I think what these classes this is supposed to be is to help us think more and more outside the box, and between the 4 of us, we can come up with some pretty good ideas. But what he really wants, the meat of it, is that written document, and you just answered it, so it should be pretty easy, right?
Cool. Yeah, I'll just submit those 2 questions, and it should be good. Is that it?
I think that's it. I mean, I don't see anything else. It's just,
that's it. I just look at myself. I think it's good. I hope we talked enough on what the questions asked, but I think we covered it. So I don't know what else we would say on it. So,
and this was a relatively short case study. So
I really like this case. I think
it was good.
Yeah, I do think working with family, working with close friends. As I've already known this, it's tough. And I think that they're in that situation. They agreed before that they weren't going to get in a fight. But, man, family businesses and working with close friends, you got to set up a really good strategy to make sure that there's something there to help you keep a good relationship.
Well, just to give you let me give you an example. I am in a family business. In the last 2 years, 2 of my siblings have left, and my my brother and I have taken over and we're buying them out.
Yeah.
And it has put a very much a strain on our family relationship too. So
Totally. That's why I'm not farming with our family. So that's why I'm doing real estate. So it's tough.
But one thing though, if you are, it can work. And I know, and the way you make it work is you treat it like a business, a real business. That means you have your roles defined, you have your bylaws set up, you have, and everybody agreed to it. And when it comes to having the hard questions, like you go right back to that. Everybody signed it, everybody agreed to it. And it's like, there's nothing we can do. You signed it.
Right.
And that helps. And then you make sure that you agree before you say, do you really understand what you're going through? And that's what happened to our family. We didn't do that. But my brother now, the brother that I have right now, him and I are very astute, making sure we have all these things signed. We both agreed to our roles and responsibilities. And it's working really, really well. I mean, him and I have been working together for 10 years. But I will definitely say working with family and friends, a lot of it is humility.
Absolutely. Totally.
Yeah. Well, that's my story. So I don't want me to bore you guys with that. So.
Sorry, I'm just finished writing this. Since it's only 2 questions, I'm just trying to add more. But anyway, we can probably stop the recording.
Okay. I'll stop the broadcast.